Now, sales of the Lotus Elise have plummeted in recent years, and Lotus decided to increase those sales. Let's start selling it in America for the first time. But to do that, they had to put a new engine in it to meet all the daft American engine emissions rubbish. So they got one out of a Toyota.
And don't mock, because it is an amazing combination. Toyota Celica engine in a little car like this. Worked brilliantly, so they thought, hang on, that goes well. Why don't we do a hardtop, hardcore version?
This is it, the Exige. It weighs less than a ton, but you get 190 brake horsepower. That's like putting a Saturn V rocket in a food blender. It does 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. Flat out, you'll be going 147. And it's actually quite a sophisticated engine. You get 2 camshafts, one for economy and one for power. And there's a Lotus computer which manages the transition between the two.
You get to 6,200 RPM when a normal engine would be running out of steam. Here we go. And there's actually a step, a jerk, as it goes onto the power cam. And you get even more. Whoa! And the best thing is that when you drop down a gear to go round a corner on a track like this, when you're really going for it, it always stays above that magical 6,200 RPM, so you've always got the power.
But strangely, speed is not the key to this car. And despite the rather steep £30,000 price tag, nor is sophistication.
Certainly, you don't look very sophisticated when you're getting out of it. And then there's the interior you've left behind. Yes, you've got a stereo that plays your MP3s and air conditioning and electric windows. But all these things are optional extras, and so are the carpets, and so even the sun visors. To get an idea of just how Spartan this thing is, you need to look through the rear window. Back there, you've got chicken wire, Bako foil, and Tupperware. It's kind of like peering into one of your granny's old kitchen cabinets.
So if it's not built for speed or comfort, what's this car for then? Well, this. It corners like a housefly. It's not just better than an Elise, it's better than just about anything. And here's why. The front splitter and the rear spoiler work together to create real downforce like you get with a Formula One car. Its tyres are as slick as the law allows, and you get racing suspension. Add that lot together and the effect is astonishing.
Everything just goes mental!
To come up with something to match it, you have to think vertically. This might do the trick. It's an Apache helicopter gunship. It's not the fastest helicopter in the world, it'll only do 163 miles an hour, and nor is it the most manoeuvrable. But it is the ugliest, and it does pack the deadliest punch. It carries 12 Hellfire missiles, 72 rockets, and it has a cannon which points wherever the pilot is looking and fires 10 high-explosive rounds a second. The thing that interests me most of all about the Apache, though, is its radar. Because, you see, it can pop up from behind a tree or a hill 8 kilometres away. It'll have a look at the battlefield. It'll recognise 256 targets, prioritise the 16 most dangerous at that given moment, and destroy all of them. And it'll do all that in 28 seconds. Great, but in a single lap of our track, can it get missile lock on our Lotus?
The best helicopter gunship in the world, flown by the best pilots in the world, the British Army. If you like to gamble, I'll tell you how you make. Against the best handling car in the world, driven by an idiot. It's right behind me!
Wow. So, did the chopper get missile lock on you?
No, they didn't. That's how amazing this car was. I mean, I'm told by the pilot that in that kind of situation, they would have just used the cannon on me and cut me in half.
Oh, nice.
With the cannon.
Nice.
But missile lock, this thing can actually evade it. It's phenomenal.
That is incredible. But who'd like to see what happened when the helicopter did what it's supposed to do and pop up from behind some trees 2 miles away and have a go at him from there?
Yeah. Target, my line of sight. Target identified. Tracking. Radar locked. Missile armed. Firing. 2, 1, impact. Target destroyed.
That was almost perfect. Just one thing, how come you're not in little tiny bits?
Think about it. This is the British Army. Here they are, in fact, the guys that were in flight. There's the guy that flew the helicopter.
Well done, by the way, that was incredible.
The Elise has managed to evade missile lock in the track. But how will it get on against all the other cars we have around here on the track? Time, I think, to move over to Defcon Stig. Away he goes. Lots of wheel spin there on what is a slightly damp track. Now, straight line power could be the Exige's Achilles heel, but it really will make up for it through the bends. Look at that. Oh dear. The Stig's bought a sort of power ballad album, which he wants to play for us over this series. Hasn't affected his driving, though. He's pushing it! OK, down to Hammerhead. See, look how it just sits on the lines, flat out. Look at that! Look at it! It's unbelievable! Coming to the follow-through. Is he going to lift? Is he going to lift? Absolutely flat out through the follow-through, which is unbelievable. Nearly slick tyres on wet tarmac. Should be tricky. Looking good so far. Can he keep it together? This is the penultimate corner. Is he going on the grass? No, kept it off. The final corner. Oh, it's so neat, tiny and across the line. You've got to bear in mind, that was a 1.8-litre car, Toyota engine, virtually slick tyres on a wet track. So it would be unbelievable if it went sort of faster than a Honda NSX Type R, you know, 131.6, yeah?
Yeah.
And it would be ridiculous if it went faster than a 911 Turbo did it in 131 on a wet track. Yeah. It went round in 1 minute, 26.9 seconds.
That is amazing!